Hi, my name's Steve Richards from Watchman IT Security. So what's the problem with GDPR for small local businesses or micro businesses? Well, the answer's fairly simple. The answer is that GDPR, which came into place on the 25th of May 2018, has a lot of information that has to be gathered. It's not the sort of thing that small businesses typically have time for, and as a result, it causes a problem. The problem is that, first of all, people get sick and tired of hearing about GDPR. I'm sorry about that, but I'm going to bang on about it anyway. Um, they don't have time to do the documentation. The documentation can be really complicated. You need some understanding of GDPR or a lot of understanding of GDPR. And, you can use a free template, that's for sure, but are you sure it covers you? Because these free templates, they are all involved. They have everything jammed into them, and there'll be bits that you don't need. So there are certain choices you have to make, like, what's your reason for holding the data? And, is that data, does it require somebody's permission? If you make the wrong choice, particularly between opting in and having the data held for a different reason, which I won't go into right now, then that can cause you a major headache and lots more paperwork. So making the right choice is critical. Your template can't make the choice for you. You have to make the choice. So if you've made the wrong choice, then I'm sorry, but this is going to be a long drawn out process. It's going to be expensive for you because you're not going to be doing what you're meant to be doing, which is running your business. The other problem that people have is they're not sure where all the data is. And that's a major issue. If you don't know where all your data is, then that's a starting point really for the whole operation. And if you can't find your data or don't know where it's all held, then you need help. Yeah. So, people get into a real muddle because they don't know what data comes under GDPR. They don't know what data stores come under GDPR. Does your filing cabinet come under GDPR? Is it just the stuff on your computer? It's a mixture of things. That's what we're here for, really. So the solution is us, Watchman IT Security. We are an IT security company, and we've written GDPR documentation for local businesses. We really understand the topic, and we understand local businesses. It's really important that, because otherwise you end up with too much documentation rather than just enough, or more than enough to see you through the next few years as your business grows. We know that SMEs are really price conscious. I mean, we know that, we understand that, and we'll look at some situations where price could be a major issue, but it won't be for this solution, I promise you. And we also understand that you may want to do this yourself, but you just don't know where to start. Yeah. So some examples of data and what counts as data. These can be record cards that you have written out with customers' details on. It could be a client booking diary, a paper one. It could be a spreadsheet list of clients or suppliers. It could be your mobile phone that actually holds your client details on it. That comes under GDPR, because anything that will actually identify an individual falls under GDPR. Yeah. So employment contracts and records, accounting, the invoices, for example, if it holds personal information, client payroll records, client payroll records. That's payroll records of you, the client. So if you've got employees, then their details, you're holding personal information about them, and you're holding personal information about their banking. That's a definite under GDPR. Yeah, that definitely falls into the category. You might have done surveys in the past with some of your clients or with people on the street. If they're not anonymous, then that sort of thing falls under GDPR. And customer loyalty records, they would fall under GDPR. So all sorts of things really come under that dreaded General Data Protection Regulation. And if you don't have the right paperwork in place, you can be in a lot of trouble. I'm not going to make you scared about fines or things like that, because the bottom line is the Information Commissioner's Office will say, if you're actually doing something at the moment in the early days of GDPR, this is July 2018 when I'm recording this, if it's still the early days of GDPR, the first year, and you're actually actively moving towards getting that paperwork, those records sorted out, then they're going to say, well, at least they're trying if there was a problem. If they came knocking on your door because of a security breach, they'd say, well, at least you're trying. They wouldn't throw the biggest fines at you. Probably not, anyway. If you were taking no action whatsoever, then believe me, they'll take you to the cleaners. They really will. But that's not the point here, okay? I'm not trying to scare people. I just want to help you out. So data examples we've just covered. Let's have a look at who this is not for. This particular solution is not for the bigger companies. Yes, we can help your bigger companies. As a matter of fact, we just did a caring charity. They look after people who care for others. Yeah, so they support the carers, if you like. But their records were on the carers and also the carers' charges. So, you know, we're talking 20 plus staff, lots of electronic and paper records, data gathered from outside agencies as well as inside the company. We ended up with over 61 documents, 9 categories for the documentation. It was a massive job. And because of that, this is not for you. Why not? Because of this. It cost them over £1,200 plus VAT. So this is not for you. This is not, you know, the case. What I'm talking about is not for that client. If that's you, yeah, and you're in that sort of category, we've got lots of employees, you've got lots of staff working for you, multiple locations, and you handle vast amounts of data, then this isn't for you. Okay, we can still help you. Yeah, we'll help you, no problems whatsoever, just like we did this particular client. But the solution I'm on about now is much cheaper because we're talking about small businesses. Talking about one-man bands predominantly, although you might have up to 20 staff, that's true. You know, but typically we'd be looking at smaller businesses for this solution. So maybe it's painter or decorator who holds data on customers and 1 or 2 employees. They've got one location they work out of, electronic and paper records. The staff gather the data themselves. They might have several years of historic data and they're growing steadily. Yeah, might be a hairdresser. You know, hairdressing salons, they fall under GDPR. They hold client records, typically on cards, sometimes on computers. Small jewelry shops, estate agents, bookkeepers, small accounting firms, people like that. This solution is for you. Okay, so this solution is definitely for you. What we're looking at here is a solution where we're able to help you out because we can help you locate your data. We're experts in risk management. We can fact find and analyze the data. We can look for appropriate supplementary questions to ask you to make sure we get everything absolutely spot on. It's our job. We love doing it. Okay, we love doing this sort of work. It's what really gets us excited. It might bore you to tears. It's another reason to come to us. Yeah, we can do this no problems. We can provide the best solution to protect your business without breaking your bank. Okay, so it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. The standard template that you might get from online somewhere, you might download it somewhere. The thing about that is you're going to have to go through it. You're going to have to understand risk assessments. If you've never done a risk assessment before, believe me, it's not a piece of cake. You're going to have to learn all about GDPR. You're welcome to it. Go to the Information Commissioner's office, go to their website and study what's on there. It's going to take you days. Yeah, seriously, I know, because that's what we did. We had to study it. Then we had to ask questions. We had to phone the ICO up and ask them questions. We had to clarify things. Then we had to put it all together and make it work. You can't do that on a template. Filling in that paperwork is going to take you away from your job. And at the end of the day, only you can actually assess the risks and decide whether they're worth taking, but you don't know what those risks are. Either that or you're going to hire somebody like us to come in and analyze the risks and then pay for the solutions. Well, that's what we're talking about here. Don't use a template. Let us come to you and help you. Now, if you want to use a template, fine, but at least do this fact finding first. That's what we're here for. We can help you out with that and give you a starting point, because what we'll do is we'll give you a report, we'll talk to you about the reports, and we will point you in the right direction so you've got a roadmap to follow. So you don't have time, how's this going to work? Well, as I said, we'll analyze, we'll generate the detailed report, we'll discuss it with you in person or by video conference if you prefer. You know, if distance is an issue, we'll do it that way, or we can do it over a phone, have an emailed you the reports, and we'll go through it step by step. There'll be recommendations in there. We can help you with those recommendations. We can show you the way forward. Yeah. So what actually happens is this: you contact us, we discuss the service, 15 minutes max, having a chat about the service and what we can do for you. Then we'll provide you with a login for this survey. Now, it might take a few hours to get that login sorted, or it might be the next day when we get the login sorted. That's fine. You then complete the survey. And then once you've done that, we'll analyze the results. We'll generate a report. And that report is going to be like a gap analysis. We're going to look at where you are now, where you need to be to comply with GDPR. And then we're going to actually contact you and say, when's a good time to discuss this? And then we'll either sit down with you or we'll do it online, and we'll run through the report and we'll point out the solutions, what you need to do next, how you can get it done, those sorts of things. Yeah. So we're going to do the analysis, everything that's difficult about GDPR we're going to do, then we're going to give you a roadmap to get it completed. Now, after the report, you can just use the report and follow the roadmap yourself. Yeah, you can go out there and source your own solutions. If we suggest a recommendation that you have this or you have that, or you do this or you do that, if it's going to be something you have to add to your business, you can go and source that yourself, and you can then go and create your documents. Or, yeah, we can use the report and we can provide the recommended solutions because we know what they are, we know where to get them, we can get them at a great price for you, and then you can complete the documentation for yourself if that's what you choose. Or thirdly, yeah, you can say, do you know what, this is too much, I understand. I understand all the reasons for not doing it myself, and I haven't really got the time, and you've got the solutions anyway, why don't you do it for us? Yeah. So let's look at these one by one. So the first one, you just want us to generate the reports. You've got a starting point and you've got a plan, a roadmap to follow. What's that going to cost you? Well, it's going to cost £250 plus VAT. The middle one, where we provide the solutions, that's going to be £250 plus the cost of the solutions plus VAT. Yeah, so we're not going to rip you off anywhere. And then the final one, we do the whole thing for you. You know, providing you fit the category that this is for, then we're talking about £400 plus the recommended solutions and VAT on top of all of that. Yeah, so that's really good. So what's the recommended solution? Well, typically it might be a particular antivirus that's going to do more for you than your existing one, anti-malware solution that's going to do more than your existing one if you've already got one. Backup solutions, we're going to look at those and how cheap they are in actual fact and how much they're going to save you and help protect your business. We'll look at data storage and the locations for that data, things like that. Yeah, so those sorts of things are what we talk about with recommended solutions. You know, there might be one or two other things, you know, but we can always discuss that later. So what do you need to do next? Well, really, you need to contact us. So give me a call. My name's Steve Richards on 01492 818 111. Or you can email me at steve@watchmanitsecurity.com. Or you can visit the website and then go to the contact page and do it there at www.watchmanitsecurity.com. So thanks for listening. I hope you really got something out of this. And if you're stuck with your GDPR and you're a small business, a small local business or a micro business, then give us a call because we can certainly help you.